Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rachel, but you can call me this girl called Rachel. In today's video, we'll be talking more about scholarship. I know lately people have been exploring other options like European countries for their graduate studies and Canada. But in today's video, we'll be talking about some of the, or let me say one of the scholarship you can like look into in Europe. And I am not doing this alone. I am doing this with Kay. And it's so nice to have you here. I'm going to like allow you to introduce yourself, but thank you so much for agreeing to this. So, can we get to know you more about you, your educational background and everything? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. Hi guys, my name is Kayode. Some people call me Dami. I'm Nigerian, born and raised in Lagos. I'm currently studying in Belgium. If you know Belgium, that's the capital of the European Union. So Brussels is the capital of Belgium, and Brussels is the capital of the European Union. Um, so my academic background is quite weird because I've been around. So I did OND, what we call Ordinary National Diploma in SLT, so Science, Laboratory Technology. And then I went for HND after my OND, biochemistry. Yes. So HND biochemistry. And then after my HND, of course, I wanted to do masters, but in Nigeria, you can't do masters. I don't know, but some people say you can't do masters with HND.
Mm.
So I decided to do PGD. So PGD biochemistry, and that's how I met this girl called Rachel.
Yeah.
Yes, so I did PhD biochemistry, in particular nutritional and industrial biochemistry, and then right now I'm doing my master's. Is a double master's, anyways. So the first part of the master's is translational science, and then the second part, which I'm currently in, is European masters in biomedicine with special focus on clinical research. So basically, what I'm doing currently is clinical research. So I think that sums it up for my academic background. Can I talk about my hobbies? Can I talk about my passions and all
You're
of
free, just yeah, you're free to talk
that?
about
I don't want to sound like I'm not
one.
professional.
You know. Yeah,
Yeah, I do music, so yeah, music is my passion, anyways. I love to talk. I like to communicate. I like to give advice to younger generation as well.
mm,
Just motivate people, be there for people as well.
no,
But yeah, but majorly music and um, personal development, yeah.
that's so good.
Developing people. Yeah,
That's so good
basically.
because most people don't have like something outside academics. Someone like
I
me
do.
before, but I'm trying. But you
Yeah,
like into music is something that is really fun. I think it's something fun, and I've seen like a couple of your videos where like oh God, I
yeah,
really wish to have something more fun than yeah. But that's really good.
yeah.
While you were talking, you talked about different courses. Like it's like from you did OND in what again? I forgot.
SLT, Science Laboratory Technology.
Yeah, but I know it's everything is like is around laboratories, around like research and all that. And
Yeah.
why you're doing your master's now, is there any reason why you choose the double master in that in those courses, or it's just what you wanted to
Hmm.
do at that time?
Okay, so I think I'll paint a picture. Like, let me give you like a background story, right? You know, when we're all doing jam, you can explain what jam is to your non-Nigerian listeners or followers.
Yeah.
I chose pharmacy,
Mm.
University of Ibadan. But unfortunately, or should I say fortunately, I don't know. I was not given pharmacy. I was given, I think, industrial chemistry or something like that. But eventually, I didn't even go for the industrial chemistry at University of Ibadan. So I went for SLT in the hopes for returning to pharmacy after my first year of HN of OND. right? You know this. Don't worry, just hold this one first, and then later on, with your good grades, you'll be able to move on to
Yeah.
your choices, right? But eventually, it did not work out. The second year, I was also given industrial chemistry. I was like, it's God saying I should do industrial chemistry. Um, so the reason why I chose clinical research is because like I just love drugs, right?
Mm.
Not drugs, medicines.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Medicine, medications,
Yeah.
right? I just like I'm interested in knowing how they function, the safety, how they got into the market, how you can take a medicine, for example, and then you don't feel better. How that two people can take a medicine and then one is feeling better, the other person is not feeling better. It's not because the medicine itself, maybe um, genetic predisposition, you know. So I was really interested. I'm still interested in all of that. But fortunately for me, that's not all I'm learning. I'm also learning the business side of things, the big pharma side of things. Um, Big pharma, we have a lot of, I would say about three of the big pharmas in Belgium. We have AstraZeneca, GSK. I think we have Sanofi as well. I think Sanofi is in France. It's not far away from here, anyways. So I've always been passionate about drugs, medicines, a bit of pharmacology, pharmacokinetics, and all of this pharmacodynamics. Yeah, so basically, that's when I saw clinical research. And
Mm.
funny enough, clinical research for my program is just 1 year because the program is for 2 years,
Okay.
right? So the first year is more about dermatological drugs. And that's why it's like translational medicine, translational science in cosmetics and dermatology.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, um, to be fair, I didn't really bother about the cosmetic side of things because I'm not, I don't want to sound like, I don't want to sound like someone who opposes cosmetics and all of that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was more interested in the dermatological drugs part of the first masters, and so I did. And then the second masters is the biomedicine and special focus on clinical research. So thankfully, I don't have to do a lot of pipetting and a lot of cell-based research and all of that. No cancer cell lines, nothing, just clinical research.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So that's good. I think some people when we are in Nigeria, we don't understand that, oh, you can still do dry lab, like you don't have to always be in the lab for you to be a researcher or for you to be a scientist. But we don't know that. It's like when you get to this side of the world, and you know that, oh yeah, I don't have to be this, so it's okay. Like it's okay to choose which one that works for me, which is really
Yeah,
good. I'm glad that you're already finding that your path, which what you really like to do in
yeah,
science. That's really good. One question
yeah,
that dropped in my mind was you're talking about it, like your program is double masters. So is it like
yeah.
self-aid or is it true scholarship?
Yeah, I got it through a scholarship. Um, I don't know, but someone from Nigeria, someone that was born and raised in Lagos, living in Badagry. I don't think I have I don't think I have the funds to sponsor myself at this level.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, I would definitely need a scholarship. But fortunately for me, to God be the glory, I got fully funded, so I don't have to do anything. I even get paid monthly. Um, the scholarship board pays for my school fees, and they give me monthly stipends
Oh,
for which I pay for my house rents, and some other bills,
yeah.
and also save and also live some lavish lifestyle. Because
Yeah.
at some point, you have to treat yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Working Monday to Friday, you have to Friday evening, make
Be
some
outside,
money.
right?
I'm not saying the outside, though. I'm not saying the outside, though, but
Oh,
just
wow.
treat yourself. Maybe go to the cinema and just have
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's the name of the scholarship?
It's Erasmus Mundus Scholarship.
Oh, okay. So how did you like get to know about the scholarship? I'm saying this
Hmm.
because sometimes most like when people want to apply to schools, they always believe that, oh, apply to the US, right? So even Canada,
Mm.
but when it comes to European countries, that there are no like a lot of scholarships, right? So
Yeah.
how did you get to know about Erasmus scholarship, and how did you apply? What are the things you did differently?
Okay. Um, I would like to address the issue of people wanting to go to US and Canada and Australia and UK. I think people tend to gravitate more towards where they speak the English, quote and unquote. You know, I've been there as well. Because living in Europe is very difficult. It might be challenging to speak maybe Dutch or French or German or Spanish, particularly when you find yourself in a closed environment, an environment where the people are closed-minded, might be difficult. Well, moving on to the question, I found out about Erasmus Mundus when I was doing my own personal research.
Hmm.
It's not as if anybody told me. I don't think anyone told me. Prior to the time where I started applying for Erasmus Mundus, I think I don't know anybody, or I didn't then I didn't know anybody else under the program. And so I think it was 2021, 2022 actually. I was out of the country studying should I mention it? I was studying medicine. I studied medicine in 2022, from 2021 anyways. So I was studying medicine and then I had to leave the country due to some crises, Russia and Ukraine war, and some other challenges as well. And then I was like, so what do I fall back to now like this? How can I move on with my life? Because now it looks as if medicine is out of the table. So I was like, okay, I'm going back to Nigeria. And then after Nigeria, what should I do? So I was already planning ahead, you know.
Mm.
So I was making research and I saw something called Erasmus Mundus Masters. I was like, okay, I can do that masters after my PhD, right? My PhD in UCT University. So I knew even before landing at Lagos Airport that after my PhD, I'm going to Europe to study via one of these routes. It can be Erasmus Mundus, it can be individual universities I applied to. So I found out with my own personal research. Of course, I saw some instructional materials online on YouTube, on some people's pages and all of that. So I just went online. There's something called the website. It's quite long, but I'll send you the link,
Okay.
or you can just Google Erasmus catalog.
Okay.
You see a link called like the link is like EAC. I don't know. Can I share my screen here? Is it possible?
Yeah. Yeah. It should be. Uh,
Yeah.
is it giving you the?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So this is what the page is like.
Okay.
So this is the Erasmus Mundus catalog. There are about 212 master's program.
Wow.
So you can filter by country. There are about 27 countries in the European Union. You can
Mm,
filter by duration and credits, maybe 2 years, maybe 1 year, maybe 18 months,
mm,
maybe 60 ECTS. You can
mm.
filter by university as well.
Okay.
And then by field of study, I was into medicine slash life sciences.
Okay.
So yes, you can just set by filter. My program should come up here. All right. So we have some programs in medicine,
Okay.
neuroscience, forestry, public health, which is very good,
Mm,
biology of aging. Wow, this is a very interesting course. Vaccinology for those who did maybe microbiology,
mm.
biotechnology, you can find yourself in this kind of program. experimental medicine. So there are lots, like I said, 212. And this is my program, European Masters of Science in Skin Health and Care.
Okay.
This is like the general program, but split into two. Yes, this is my program. Anyways, we're not here to talk about my program.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Really good.
yeah, so when you get to the page, moving on to how you can apply now. When you get to the page, this European um, Erasmus catalog rather,
Mm,
and then you filter by whatever filter options you like.
mm.
I'm going to use my program as an example because, of course, I have to represent my program anyways.
Yeah.
Um, so you come here to where you see the course of interest.
Okay.
Um, so this is my program. You move on to this second link here,
Okay.
right? This
Yeah.
first link is more of like the generic overview of the program. But if you move on to the second link, maybe not this one. So if you move on to the link, you'd see every information that you need. The deadline is passed anyways
Yeah.
for most of the, if not all.
Yeah. In which I will still
So
come to. Yeah. I was still like about to ask you about the timeline. But yeah, you can continue.
okay, okay, perfect. So you can just click on the link and then you see all the information you need, the requirements and all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, so this is yeah. So basically, this is the generic link where you
Okay.
see the start date, end date, the funding that the program has got from the European Union because the program is funded by the European Union.
Okay.
Yes, it's basically funded by the European Union. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
So I think we can move on to the next question. Like once you just come here,
hmm
take public health, for example. If you take public health, this is public health and disaster. Right. Application period is closed. So you might not see some links.
okay.
Right. And then you can also explore, you can see the universities that are
Okay. Yeah.
we call them participating universities.
Okay, yeah, that's
Yeah.
because I've been seeing like universities like attached to whatever like courses. So I wanted to ask that. So each course that you want like to explore has like universities that they participate, like they have that, not just
Yes.
all. Okay, cool.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
nice. This is good. So so let me go back to asking about the timeline. So is there like a timeline to when the scholarship is being open and when is it closed? Is it just once in a year or sometimes like
Mm.
twice in a year or it's on the roll?
To the best of my knowledge, I think is once a year.
Mm,
The scholarship window is very short,
mm, okay.
and it depends on the program as well. The success rate is very low. The
Mm,
acceptance rate is very low because it is very competitive,
okay, yeah.
right? But the timeline is about 2 months to 3 months, usually from August, September to December.
Okay.
But then again, it depends on the program of choice. So, and that's why it's always advisable to go to the website, see for yourself when is the deadline, when is the opening, and when is it closing, right?
Yeah.
So it depends. I remember my own program, it was, I think it was open for just 1 month, 1st of February to the 27th of February, 2023,
Mhm.
2024.
Okay.
1st of February to 27th. So if you don't apply in the space of 27 days, you don't get your document in the space of 27 days, well, you need them the next year. But
Okay.
some programs are lenient.
Mm.
Some give 3 months, some give 2 months.
So it's
Um,
not like just like a constant date that, oh, from January to February. It
you know,
depends on the course that you want to
it depends
apply.
on yes, it depends on the course. But the umbrella date is beginning from August, September. Some programs are already open,
Okay.
and from February, most of them are closed.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So you
Wow.
have to check, okay, which ones are open in August, which ones are open in September, which ones are closed in January, which ones are closed in May.
Wow. Okay.
Just keep checking the
Keep checking
catalog and
what's that.
keep checking. Yeah.
Okay. Another thing you mentioned is about, oh, it's very competitive and the acceptance rate is very low. So I'm
Ah,
wondering, how did you do it? What did you do different? So it's like three
hmm.
questions, right? So what did you do different? What are the essential documents that you need to submit during like this application? And the third one, okay, maybe we should answer then I'll bring the third one. Yeah.
Okay. So I think I can start from the essential documents.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if you are new to graduate studies application, then you're probably hearing this for the first time. You need your CV, academic CV, because you're not applying to industries, you're applying to universities. You
Yeah.
also need your motivation letter, personal statement. In
Mm.
some cases, they treat them as the same. In some cases, they treat them differently. So your motivation letter, I'm sure by now, if you're following this girl called Rachel, you know what motivation letter is. So basically, the statement where you talk about your academic background, your future goals, and why you intend to pursue this program, and why you are the best candidate for one of the best candidates, if not the best candidate, anyways, for the program. You also need something called reference letters, or yes, reference letters from your referees. It could be your academic staff, supervisors, or one of your employer. Yes, and then you need your all your academic documents, your transcripts, your certificates. What else? You also need English certificates. So, but if you're from countries I don't speak English,
Yeah.
that English is not your lingua franca, then you most likely need English certificates. Even if you're from countries that speaks English or that uses English as their official language, like Nigeria, for example,
Yeah.
depends on the case, depends on the course and the
Yeah.
program. Um, it was not required of me to write IELTS or TOEFL or whatever.
What did you
So
present like a certificate, English certificate, like, oh, the
yes,
mode of communication during your degrees was English?
yes,
Okay.
yes. I got that from my. I think I got it from City, or I think I got it from my polytechnic.
Okay.
I think I got both anyways because I was like, nah, I'm not leaving. I'm not losing this opportunity.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I think that's all. I
Mm.
think basically that's all you need.
Okay.
So CV, SOP, or motivational statement, personal statement, all your academic documents,
Mm.
English proficiency tests,
Yeah.
reference letters,
Yeah.
and I think that should be fine. Although some programs will also require you to have like a video recording of yourself presenting a paper.
Mm.
Um, yes.
Mm.
And
That's
then moving on to what I did differently.
mm-hmm.
I don't, I don't know. It's great. So tell me,
Yeah.
yeah. But I remember someone was asking me that, do you really want it? If you really want it, then you should show in the amount of work you put in.
Mm.
You should energy to show in the way you handle the entire process.
Yeah.
Right? Talk
Mm-hmm.
about quality and not just quantity. It's
Mm-hmm.
better to be really so things, be focused,
Yeah.
just spread across, spread across. Meanwhile, you're spreading little. Why not just gather everything and put in one application, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I applied for this program for the first time and I got it. Meanwhile, some people have been applying for 3 years back to back,
Mm.
send messages that they didn't give them again. So,
I mean, you're
sorry.
able to sell yourself very well, especially in your
Yeah,
maybe SOP or letter of intent. You're able to
yeah.
tell a good story. Because I always tell people that your SOPs were like that's the first thing they will meet, your SOP and your
Mm,
CV before they even
mm,
meet you in person. So it is very important to be able to like to sell yourself, to tell a good story of where you are coming from, where you are, and where you want to go with this scholarship or with this
yeah,
with like you getting the master's or PhD. So you
yeah,
should be able to like let them give like a compelling story that shows who you are even before meeting
yeah,
you. Yeah, we know the grace of God, yeah, but you should be able to sell yourself. So that
yeah,
that that's really good. That's
yeah.
really yeah.
And when you get the opportunity to um even maybe perhaps your application is not really strong because then again it depends on the academic background,
Mm,
right? Someone in everybody can do public health, even mathematicians to do public health. It's quite related. What is not related to public health? Maybe business studies. But yeah, the point is your background might be different from what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to study now,
mm,
right? So you need to connect the dots.
exactly.
You need to connect the dots.
Yeah.
You know, some people, I think some of my colleagues did biotechnology, and I'm wondering, biotechnology and clinical research. Some of my colleagues even did chemical engineering. I'm like, chemical engineering and clinical research. But they were able to, connect the dots.
Next the
It's
thoughts.
not your background, of course, you not put your bag on the ground, as they say.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
want it to go for it. Just make sure you're able to prove yourself and prove the reason why
Mm,
you're going for it.
yeah.
And your grades also matter.
Yeah, yeah, I wanted to talk about it that do you have to like have a first class or this thing? So what's the requirement for it when it comes to grade for the scholarship?
Mhm. These things they have quotas, right? So
Okay,
your
yeah.
SOP has a quota, your grade, your academic
Mm,
background has a quota, your reference letters, they have a quota as well. Um, but speaking of grades, if you can get first class, please do. I'm not one to say, oh, school na scam or don't
yeah.
just be mediocre and all of that. Please,
Mm,
if you can get a good grade, endeavor you do. Um, however, I did not get a first class in my bachelor's, my undergraduate. I got what's it called? They called polytechnic again. Said no, upper credit,
okay.
right? I got upper credit, and that's just below distinction. That's like 2-1,
Yeah.
right? I know we should stop saying 2-1 is second upper credit. All this university polytechnic. Anyways, that's the talk on another day. So and that's one of the reasons why I decided to pursue a PhD so that I can have some form of level playing ground with those who are applying with a bachelor's or who are applying with a master's. Because some people really apply for masters having masters already.
Mm,
In that case, they will not rate you people the same way,
same way. Yeah.
you know. So it's just better to have good grades. However, if you don't, it's not the end of the world. You can make up for your deficiency in some other areas, like your reference letters, your motivation, if it is really compelling. They will forget about your grade. Oh. If your work experience is also there, they
Yeah.
will quickly forget about your grade. So work experience is also important.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
also,
So, so that means that even though you don't have a first class, you should be able to match it up with other things. Maybe your work experience, maybe your SOP, maybe something, maybe your research experience, something should be able to match
exactly.
that because there's like a quota, there's like a grade for
Yes, the grading
each
system
category for each
yes,
categories. So okay, yeah,
yes.
that makes sense. That makes sense. So what other thing I wanted to ask for is so while you're applying for the scholarship, right? And there are schools that are attached to them. Do you
Mhm.
apply to the school separately or just you apply to the scholarship and you showing interest in one of the school covers it for everything?
That's a very important question. Um, in the scholarship, depends on the program.
Mm,
But from my own experience, from what I know, speaking with my other colleagues from other programs,
mm,
you don't apply to a school. you apply to the board itself, to the
Okay.
program.
Okay.
So the program, of course, the program covers the coordinating institution and then the participating institution, right? So I'm going to give a quick example. My coordinating institution, coordinating university is University of Piemonte Orientale in Italy,
Okay.
right? And then other participating universities are University of Miguel Hernandez in Spain, University of Namur in Belgium, I'm currently in. And there used to be one university, I think Heidelberg University in Germany,
Mm.
right? I did not apply to any of these universities. I only applied to the program,
Okay.
right? But the program will tell you to specify which university you are interested in.
Okay. Mm.
Yes, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not applying to university. So
Mm-hmm.
even in your letter of motivation, it is not vague. It's not generic. You need to write it to respond to the program's questions.
Okay.
Yes, it is not just write SOP now and submit it. No, no. You need to answer to the questions of the program, like, okay, what are your future goals? Where do you see yourself applying this program? Blah blah blah. Um, I remember in my SOP, I wrote why I'm choosing because there are two parts. There's the preclinical part, which is the Spain part, like I mentioned, and there's the clinical part, which is the Belgium part, right? So they asked us what program are we choosing, what path, and I said clinical research, and they said justify this reason, justify this answer. So I had to justify why I'm choosing clinical research. So of course, if you are choosing clinical research, you're already choosing the school already. So
Mm.
there's no
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Okay.
You're not applying to individual schools. You're only applying to the
The body.
program. And yes, they will pass it around. Okay, this person is from your SOP. You're applying to or you're applying to the program, but you are choosing a specific school. So they pass it to the school and then
Mm.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So let's move to what are the benefits that comes with the scholarship? I know before earlier on you mentioned about the stipend, but is it only
Yeah.
like stipend? What are the things that comes with you being Erasmus Mundus Scholar and also
Mm,
you being an international student in the Europe? What
mm.
are the benefits that comes with it? Yeah.
I feel like we cannot exhaust the benefits. The benefits are just they are everywhere.
Okay.
Benefits are everywhere.
Okay.
If I want to start superficially, I'd say you have the opportunity to travel to about 27 countries in
Hmm.
Europe.
Wow.
When you go to some people's Instagrams, you see a lot of flags. It could be
Yeah.
that they studied in Europe or they studied under the Erasmus,
Wow.
right?
Yeah.
So you can just, like I said, France is here, just about 5 hours by bus, 1 hour by train. Netherlands is here, just about 1 hour by train. Luxembourg is just around the corner here, about 2 hours by bus. Germany is just around here.
Hmm.
Just so
Wow.
you can just,
Yeah.
and when you leave Western Europe, you can move towards Northern Europe. You can Sweden, Finland, just so you can travel around if you really like to travel.
Yeah.
I like to travel, but I don't like to be in the flight or in the bus. I wish I
Oh,
can
yeah.
teleport.
Yeah. It's a,
Yes. So you can travel. You can also explore other countries, other cultures. Um, Apart from the 27 countries in the EU, you can also travel to some countries that are not in the EU, like Switzerland, like Iceland,
wow.
um, Norway. These countries are not in the EU. They're not amongst the 27. But you
Mm,
can go there with your valid permit.
wow.
And you can go to, I mean, it's easier to travel around from here. You
Yeah.
can go to UK, even though they've left the EU. Brexit happened in 2020. So you can just apply for a visa. You get it instantly. It's not like Africa back home where you praying and fasting to get a visa.
Yeah. Yeah.
What other benefits are there? You have real life exposure
Hmm.
in for some of us that were close-minded before back then in Nigeria. Now you see things as they are. Your realities are in front of you like this. I don't know. I've not done Western blood before. I don't know. It's only a license I did, though.
I
Please.
know.
Not done PCR before, please. Oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, you also have the opportunity to learn. I was in one of the leading cancer institutes in Europe. It's
Oh,
called Institute there, IJB. It's in Brussels, right? And I was stunned by the state of the art equipment that they have. I was stunned.
wow.
RNA sequencing. I've not seen that thing in Nigeria, man.
Yeah, we did the theory. Like even
It's always theory, theory, theory.
in my situation, I used to complete it.
I'm like, wow, this is sensational. You get to learn from the people you see on publications, people you see on your PubMed and your Google Scholar and all of those things. You get to relate with them.
Mm,
My professor, she's one of the leading researchers in um, osteoporosis and sarcopenia,
yeah.
right?
Okay.
And I'm like, this woman. So like 3 years ago, I was reading about it online. Now I'm with you. Like the office is just two doors away from my office,
Wow.
right? So
Mhm.
there's this opportunity to learn and to grow, to develop yourself.
Yeah.
Not everything is just cruise and vibes and all of that.
Yeah.
There's that, of course, but also develop yourself.
Mhm.
We also have the prospect of going to industries, right?
Mm.
I visited Parexel. I visited Institute for there. Some of my friends and colleagues, they visited AstraZeneca. Some visited GSK, Pfizer. Companies that you hear about and you're like, I wish I could just plant myself there. So you also learn from these companies as well. The stipends, I would say is good. Just don't find yourself in an expensive country like Netherlands or Belgium. Or perhaps, peradventure, you find yourself in an expensive country, you have to
I just.
manage and adjust yourself. I did my first year in Italy, and Italy is relatively cheap, or should I say inexpensive, affordable, right? As compared to Belgium. Belgium, they're coming for your throat. Like all these stipends, you cough it out in a space of 1 month. You need to really adjust. But all in all, the stipend is enough. It's more than enough to cater for your needs. Um, yes, it's more than enough. You even get some money to save. Get some money if you are one of those people that send money back home. Yeah, have some to send back home as well. So, yeah, and to be very honest, I think I didn't talk about the acceptance rate.
Yeah.
The acceptance rate
You
for
said
my
it's
program
low. Yeah. Well,
very low. Acceptance rate is about 2%.
what?
Yeah, it's about 2%.
Wow.
For some programs, it's even less.
Mm.
Yes. I remember in my cohort, we are about 18 that got the full scholarship. 18 out of 1,400 and so. So yeah, so it's
That's
about it's about 2%.
that's serious. Wow.
So
That means,
you know,
wow, you must have like done extremely good with your application. Puts the best of the best out there. I mean, with God.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, definitely. I was telling one of my friends yesterday. He was saying she doesn't like competition. I said, you don't like competition. That means you're going to settle for less now. Like go and fight for yourself, fight for your seat.
Yeah.
You can't just be running away from competition. If it is good competition, go for it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's not everybody that love that, and it's okay. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
everybody that wants it, and you know what? It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Just
True, true,
yeah.
true.
It's okay.
Actually, true. Or
Yeah.
you hardly find a good thing that people are not rushing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you go on LinkedIn, you see a good role, you most likely see 100 people have clicked apply. And I want to be the 101 person. How? There's no need. Let me just move to the next job. I
Yeah.
mean.
I think
But
what
for
that
some,
people don't know. Like, okay, yeah, you can yeah, you can gonna
yeah, but for some people that love competition, say,
yeah.
just 100 people. Let me submit my application to. Let me battle it with them. You
Yeah.
know.
I think that's what people don't know. Even with application, like you have to put the best of your best out there because you are not the only one applying for this program or for this position. A lot of people all over the world are
All over
applying.
the
And
world.
if you now even now come from Nigeria or come from
Ah,
like African countries, so you are competing with the best of the best. So you just don't
but
want to. Some people, when it comes to application, they want somebody to be there to be helping them this thing. You are not ready. I always tell them, see, if you are not ready to put put in the work, you're not ready to
yeah,
go outside to study because it's even preparing you for when you get to like get when you get to the school or when you start the
yeah,
program because it is not like the one you are used to. You have
yeah.
to like it's very
Nobody's going to school.
rigorous, it's very intense most times because it's not you are not used to it. So if you cannot even just put the best of yourself out there to apply, how do you now want to like cope with
Manage
that
pressure.
when
That's like
exactly
the
when
way.
you start the whole program? People
Mhm.
don't know. They're like, oh, they're chilling. You're not ready. You are
It's
not
not
ready.
chill though. Nobody's going to spoon feed you in abroad. Though. Don't,
Nobody. You have to do it all yourself. And then
nobody's.
sometimes you
Yeah,
have to do extra because you are coming from African countries. It's not like we are shading, but it's just
yeah,
what is just the reality. You just have to like
yeah.
do extra for you to like sometimes match up, especially when you just start the program. So
Mhm.
yeah, interesting. So I
Even,
wanted to, okay,
yeah, sure. I was about to say, even in Nigeria, there's competition within because some of these programs they give quota to countries,
yeah,
right? So maybe out of the 2 point something percent acceptance rate, maybe about 0.3 will come from Nigeria. So you see two people from Nigeria, two good prospects from Nigeria competing against each other.
sure that, hmm,
So it's really, but Nigerians have gotten Erasmus. A lot of Nigerians, a
yeah,
lot of Pakistanis, a lot of Indians and Bangladeshis.
yeah,
But if you're talking about Africa as a continent, then Nigerians are up there.
yeah. Wow,
And
that's
there's academic inflation as well. A lot of people are studying these days. We have a lot of masters graduates. It wasn't like before.
I know. I just feel like it's like the foundation, like if you want a better life, especially for African people, because of the kind of environment we find ourselves, there is need for us to do like study more,
Yeah.
right? To get exposed to what is happening out there. So the best place we can start with is first to like get that exposure. And that exposure is like maybe like going to school again, maybe outside the country. And once you get that, it's like a stepping stone to like, okay, what do I now want to explore? What do I want to do in my life? But there is need for us sometimes to actually get that exposure, to get more knowledge for us to be able to
Mm.
like spread
Yeah.
across, like do
Yeah.
what we want to do. So yeah,
Totally agree.
yeah,
Totally agree.
yeah. So another thing I want to ask is when you get like when you started your program, were there any challenges that you faced? Were there anything that you're like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting this. And then how did
Ah,
you cope with it? And also like with like is there any challenge like when it comes to like getting securing job in the
mm,
yeah.
mm. That's a good question. Let me answer the last one.
Okay.
Securing job after your graduation is possible, but it's the same as those who did like the common masters,
Mm,
not Erasmus masters. It's the
mm,
same as those who applying for a job after their bachelors,
mm,
right? So we are all moving from I just graduated to I want to get a job. So you might face not you, but such a fellow might face the same challenges as others, right? But the good thing about studying an Erasmus Master is because it is renowned, it is known all over the world. If you
mm,
want to do a PhD with an Erasmus Masters, they will most likely give you like preferential treatment. You
mm.
know,
Yeah.
those are I think I have about three of my friends now that they got Marie Curie PhD fellowships, in Sweden and Finland, I guess. Some are even studying in Karolinska. And I'm like, oh, what made you secure this PhD position? I was like, oh, because I did Erasmus. you know. But that's not all. If, of
Yeah.
course, those of you that did masters in the US, you can also benefit from that. But I'm saying there are some scholarships that are really out there that are known for good standards.
Mm,
Erasmus Mundus is one of them. We also have a few: Chevening, Commonwealth, Mastercard, DAD, of course. Yeah,
mm,
just a few. But the challenges are the same. So, nobody's going to say, oh, because you did the Erasmus Masters, you have the job automatically. You still have to go through the standard process.
yeah.
There's no nepotism in Europe. There's no nepotism. But
Yeah.
even if there's nepotism, you still have to go through the process.
Mm,
Apply, and even if your dad is the CEO, you still have to apply.
mm,
That's to be documented,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, what was the second question? The first
What
question.
like what are the
The
challenges
challenge.
you faced when you decided
Hmm.
to
Um, should I be honest? Yes. The challenges I faced, there are a lot, from weather to academics to humans. Let me start with weather. I
yeah.
came from Nigeria. Eh?
Yeah.
Whereas heat finishing us in Lagos. And then moving to Italy where I was on the north side of Italy. That's what they call Piemonte. Mont is mountain, pier Latin, the foot, right? So the foot of the mountain, like I was at the base of the mountain, the Alps, Italian Alps. Cold one finish me. Uh, oh my God. I was at some point, I was like, maybe I should be doing e-learning because I cannot cope in this weather again.
Oh my God.
Uh, the winter was a lot. Oh, it was a lot. And you have to, winters now, how do you call it? Long days, shorter nights. I mean, is this shorter nights, long days? I can't even remember how you call it. You have to wake up at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., prepare for the day. You have class by 8 o'clock, and it's cold. You cannot even shower because even the cold water safe. I mean, the hot water is already cold before it gets to your body. You know, so the weather was quite something, and then the summer was also hot as well. It's just on both opposite sides, but opposite extremes. Too cold and too hot. So the weather was a thing. Human relationships was also a thing because, of course, I left my family, could only communicate on WhatsApp and all of that. I was missing hugs. Cannot be hugging strangers now, you know. I was missing my mom's food, even though sometimes I cook at home, not sometimes, even though sometimes she cooks at home. But I was also missing that, flavor. Nigerian food is expensive, so you have to. It's my birthday, okay, let me go and eat Nigerian food in the African market or something. And then I do eat pasta. So yeah, but speaking of real challenges, academics was something. It was something. I said we did translational science at the first year. I was doing things that I didn't even imagine that was related to the course. I was doing things like uh what are those things I was doing again? I can't even remember some of them now because I didn't really value them as much. Because they were like they were like a lot of pressure on me to I must pass this exam. I was doing things like anatomy, physiology. I mean, these things are quite related, but I never took anatomy classes before or physiology classes. Maybe I did. Yes, I did in medical school, right? But I was not expecting myself to come and face anatomy and physiology again.
Yeah.
You know, I was doing some biomedical medical chemistry, medicinal chemistry, and then I had to face pharmacology again. Hey, Jesus. I thought I left this thing now. The more you go, you just realize that I was also facing some what do you call it? Cellular biology, some cell signaling, all these pathways, Jack-STAT pathways, mTOR pathways, EGFR and all of that. You see, that particular course was after my life. That's cellular signaling. It was after, I have to be honest. I have to be honest. It was after me. It was after me. But yeah, to God be the glory, we passed
Mm.
and Yeah. The
That's
thing about the program is if you don't pass, you don't get your scholarship. That's how it is. That's the agreement. So at least there's something to motivate you to pass, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wow.
But we are not motivated by the money anyways. Of course, the money is part of the motivation, but
Mm,
academic excellence is the most important.
wow. Wow. That's
What
good.
other challenges? Yeah, we're dominated by women. Shout out to you people. Women run the world.
Wow.
I think you're about 29 or 27 in the class and about 9 boys or so, or 11 boys.
We love to
So it
see.
was
We love to see it.
yes,
Women
yes.
are
I love to see it for you people
we
too.
love to
Yes,
see.
yes. Women in STEM. Come on, let's give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And most of
That's
my professors were also females.
wow. Yeah. I think
Yeah,
lately, like women have been doing, like we've been doing really good. Like
yeah.
we've been doing really good. Gone are the days whereby you see less women studying, you see less women
Mm,
in places like that. But yeah, I think it's good. And also
yeah.
now, also I think we need to also now balance it. Like it's like we are leaving men behind, but now
Yeah,
there's
you
need for
get it.
balance.
You
There's
get
need for
it.
balance. Yeah. There's need for balance. I hope that
It looks
balance,
as if
find that
it
balance.
looks as
Yeah.
if yeah.
Yeah. We hope we
my,
find that
my
balance.
professor was asking me during the interview when I had the interview in Nigeria. She said, "Hope you don't mind being taught by female professors." I was like, what kind of question is this? And then I just remember that this is also an interview. I said, I don't mind though. Even my professors in Licity, most of them are females,
Yes,
Professor
yes. It's always be a female. Like, yes.
and all of that.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, how many male professors even taught me in this city? Probably
Yeah.
one. Probably only
Yeah,
Prof.
even here,
Kudari.
like I don't think we have that much male as a professor, like in my department. I think
Mm,
they are more of female. Right. Right.
yeah. I
Anyway.
think it's a good thing actually. And they're actually doing well. To be very honest, I'm being really serious now. They
Yes.
are at the top of their game.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
doing wonderfully well. Yeah.
Yes. You're right. You're right.
Good to see.
Many.
Women in STEM.
So thank you so much. My last question is there any advice you want to give to prospective applicants or people that want to come to Europe to study, people that want to apply for this scholarship? What are the things you would love to like tell them? And yeah, what are the things they should do different when they're applying?
Mm. Um, I like to talk from two angles, from a common man angle and then from a faith-based angle, right? Let me start from the faith-based. If you are led towards applying to a program, don't think about it too much. Just go for it, right? If you are led to a country, go for it. And if you're led to stay in Nigeria, please stay in Nigeria, right? um, and then from the common man, I would say that if you have all your cards in your hands now, make sure you make the best out of it. If you are still in school, get good grades. Make sure you get the knowledge, right? If you don't have practicals, go online. You see practicals online. Western blot is online. PCR is online. ELISA is online. All of these things are online, right? Just it might be theoretical, but it's closer to being practical because you have seen it, right? So make sure you get good grades. Also put in the work. There is no shortcut to anything. You cannot submit a mediocre application and expect the best results. Don't forget that there are people at the other side of this thing. There are people at the other side receiving your applications, and they are professors. Let it sink in your head that these people, they are professors. They will not buy into your rubbish. Make sure that what you are submitting is not rubbish, right? And that's why I'm advising, make sure you don't get rubbish grade too. I've seen people who said they got 2-2 and they got the masters, they got the Erasmus. The odds of getting Erasmus or any scholarship with your 2-2 are low as compared to the odds of those getting scholarship with 2-1 or first class. So don't sell yourself short. Make sure you chase academic excellence. And yeah, put God first. Whatever religion you find yourself, you're practicing, whatever faith you believe in. I also give advice. I'm not an agent, but I guess a lot of DMs these days on my LinkedIn. Thank God I don't give people my Instagram like that. My Instagram is for my enjoyment takes place. But LinkedIn is more serious.
Mm,
And and I ask people, I just ask them a few questions to see their seriousness level. And I'm like, this one is not ready. I cannot invest my time in this one.
yeah.
So when you're coming for advice, you're coming for, can you please tell me what to do? Make sure you have also done your due diligence.
Exactly.
Put
Like,
in the work already.
yeah.
Make sure we are helping you with maybe 25% advice or 30%, not 50% or 70%. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Like I said, I made the research myself. I wrote my SOP first. I think I sent you my SOP at some point.
Can't even remember. I can't even remember, honestly.
Mm.
So I don't know if you did, but I can't remember. Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's better for you to at least have a good SOP and give it to someone to review it for you, but rather than say, can you please write my SOP for me?
People want like some if you see some, it's just lately that because I've not been like posting about scholarship that it has reduced. Like they will reach out to you and they want you to do the work. You have to do the work.
Impossible now. You have
Yeah.
to do the work yourself
Yeah.
and just do your due diligence, put in the work. Um, to be fair, I think that's it. And when you get to the point where you need to do an interview, I would
Yeah.
advise people to have, like mock interviews. You know, practice the interview in front of your mirror. Do the interview in front of your colleagues, in front of your family members, and please do it in front of those who will tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I mentioned about my friend. I said, if you really want it, you really go for it.
Go for it.
And I was like, wow, this boy don't see me finish. But he told me the truth because
Yeah.
the way I was even presenting, I was doing swagwe swagwe, and then I had to sit up. Then
Yeah.
I did one final presentation. And I was like, and now you dey talk. And now I feel like I can give you the scholarship.
So there is after you've gotten this, there's a scholarship phase where you have to do what how many
Yes, like
minutes
interview phase.
sorry, interview phase, how many minutes interview and how is it like?
Um, about 30 minutes to 1 hour.
Hmm. Okay.
About 30 minutes to 1 hour. And the interview is very interesting because that's where you need to prove yourself.
Mm.
You've done a lot of, maybe perhaps you use ChatGPT to write your SOP,
SOP.
or you, or, or
You've
your,
forgotten
or,
what is in the SOP
uh,
because you're not the one that writes it.
exactly, or you've lied in your SOP, you've lied in your CV, you've lied somewhere. Now, prove it
Yeah.
to us. You said you've done a lot of practicals. You've done this, you've done electrochemistry, you've done this one. So, madam, you said you've done ECG. What is this thing? How do you do it? That's the moment when you have to finish it off.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
to be fair, some interviews are more personal oriented, right? Some interviews they will not even talk about academics. It's more of, oh, so what do you do? Tell me about your experience. Tell me about the things you love to do. Have you traveled out before? How do you intend to cope with this masters? Just things like that. Not really chemistry, physics, biology, and all of those things.
Mm.
But some are really onto you. They
Mm.
really want to be sure that you know all this your biology, physics, and chemistry.
Yeah. Wow. Wow. That's
It really depends on the program, really and truly.
so I know I said the last question, but that's the last one. So can people reach out to you like on your LinkedIn? I'm going to like if you give go ahead, like okay, maybe they passed the first aid and then for the
Mm.
interview, they just want to reach out to how it looks like, or maybe you can prep with them. Are you open to like take that?
Um, for interviews, I would say 100% yes. For interviews,
Yeah.
yes, because I can make out time. I can make out time for the interview,
For
but
the SOP
for
review.
for to preview SOP. Well, if it is in my field, if
Yeah.
it is in life sciences,
Mhm.
medical sciences,
Yeah.
yes, you can reach out to me. But please ensure that you've done
Yeah.
your due diligence. Don't give me something that you wrote from ChatGPT. I
Yeah.
also, I was an applicant. I know how the thing is. I will put it on Turnitin. I will put it on AI detector. If I see 100% AI, I will send it back to you. Sorry, I don't have time. So I need to see some originality in it. I need to see some
Yeah.
level of coherence, some
Yeah.
level of yeah. If I don't see it, how do you expect that the professors will see it?
That's it. Yeah. True. True.
So yes, of course, they can reach out to me. But time is also important.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Time.
very, like if you have the time and you see like this person is serious, this person has done the work and all that. I
Yeah,
mean, we do know from the conversation, like 1, 2 minutes into the conversation, you can really tell if this
yeah,
person is really like up to it. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely, definitely. So
Thank
the
you.
serious ones, if they consider themselves as serious, then of course they can reach out to me. The unserious ones, when they get serious, then they can reach out.
Get it.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for agreeing to this. It
very
has been a
much.
wonderful time with you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you, thank you,
thank you very
thank you.
much.
And if you watch the end of this interview, thank you too. I hope you find 1 or 2 things to learn from this. And if you have any question, you can regarding scholarship, you can send to me. And if you need help with the scholarship itself, you can reach out to K. That's if you're serious and you've done your due diligence.